Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Bum MMA. My name's Dave, and I'm going to be predicting UFC 298, Volkanovski versus Topuria, the full card. Now, last time I did this, I got 0-5 on the main card, and that's pretty bad. And I feel like I need to put a little bit more pressure on myself, a little bit more at stake for these predictions. So, for that exact reason, I will run 1 mile. That's 1 mile for every single fight I get wrong. And that's a total of 12 fights, so 12 miles if I get all of them wrong. And I will film it and put it on here so you guys can see me paying for my stupid picks. But anyways, thank you for watching. Let's get started. First fight of the night, we got Miranda Maverick versus Andrea Lee. I'm going to go with Miranda Maverick by decision. I think she has more consistent wrestling. I think the striking should be generally even. Maybe Andrea Lee gets the better of it, like the more strikes. But I think Miranda Maverick's like aggression and willingness to just shoot takedowns and to mix it all up is going to give her the edge here. I don't see either girl getting finished in this fight. If you look, they have a lot of decisions between them. So if you're going to bet it, just probably bet the decision. But yeah, I'm going to go Miranda Maverick. But, you know, it's that division. So, again, Miranda Maverick by decision. Okay, next fight. Oban Elliott versus Val Woodburn. Now, the only note I have written here for Woodburn is he's fucking jacked. Woodburn is super buff, super powerful, kind of wild on the feet, doesn't mind crashing into the clinch, doesn't mind making it ugly, stalling it out, using his physicality. He's coming down from middleweight as well, so he's probably going to have like the strength advantage, but you never know with those things. Oban Elliott has good punching. He's a great boxer. He'll move, good counter punching, good knees. The only thing is he puts his back to the fence a lot, and Woodburn could just take all those opportunities and keep clinching him and make it a real boring, smothering fight. So yeah, I'm actually leaning Val Woodburn by an ugly decision, just because I know Oban Elliott's got good power and he's a very tough dude, and he has a fucking dragon on his flag. So USA, what are we doing, man? Stars and stripes and bullshit. We need a dragon. So yeah, I'm gonna go Val Woodburn by decision. I think he's just too jacked. That's basically it. And maybe that's because if I saw Val Woodburn, I'd be scared of him. But yeah, don't be surprised if Oban Elliott doesn't sort of, weather the storm and then TKO Woodburn. So I'd say if you're gonna go Elliott, go like a late round TKO. I could really see him finishing Woodburn, but yeah, I just think Woodburn's too big, too powerful. All right, next fight, we got Josh Quinlan versus Danny Left-Handed God Barlow. Left-Handed God is a perfect nickname, so I'm going to pick him. But real shit, I am going to pick Danny Barlow. I'm going to pick by late TKO, but man, I can see this going to decision. Quinlan struggles with range is what I have written here, and that's basically based off of the Trey Waters fight, because Trey Waters isn't a huge puncher. He does have power. I've seen him one-shot KO this dude on the regional scene. He was losing that fight badly, so Trey Waters is dangerous. But it seemed like Quinlan it's not that he just got outstruck and it's like, oh, well, he was bigger. He looked like he ran out of ideas if he couldn't just swing big left hooks at the head. Didn't really work the legs too much, didn't work the body, wasn't doing the more intelligent things. And Barlow is long, and he's also got really good stopping power. You watched his Contender Series fight, he turned that dude into a puppet. He hit him right on the side of the head, and I don't know if Quinlan will be knocked out, because Quinlan looks like he's got those Hawaiian genes, and it's just really hard to knock those guys out. But I think Barlow can just frustrate him, hit him while he's coming in, maybe avoid the grappling, because I think Quinlan, if he's a smart dude, he'll leg kick at range, And then as soon as Barlow gets frustrated and overextends with his left hand, he'll initiate the clinch. But yeah, I'm gonna go Danny Barlow. I just think he's got that crazy athleticism, speed, and power, and he's longer. Technically, though, he is kind of a mess. He kind of throws himself off balance, so don't be surprised if Quinlan just catches him with a clean counter. But I just haven't seen that from Quinlan, and I like Quinlan, so it kind of sucks. But yeah, I like Danny Barlow too. So I'm gonna go Danny Barlow, left hand to Josh Quinlan's head, TKO. Okay, I don't know how to say these guys' names, so I'm gonna just go Riberos versus Zhang. Don't have a lot to say. I have it written here, sloppy mess. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a typical light heavyweight fight. I will say though, Ribeiro sort of fights like one of those marionette puppets, but it looks like one of the strings got cut off, so the guy's really struggling to make a move. But he's like an evil, dangerous puppet that will kill you if you try to run in on him. Pretty sloppy. Both guys aren't the cleanest. I think Zhang's a little bit more technical, but I think the fact that he's going to be probably trying to take away the space on Riberos, and I think Riberos has a good chin, and I think with the length, I think he's going to be able to catch Zhang if he tries to come in too sloppy. I can see this being a really ugly, sloppy, light heavyweight fight that goes all 3 rounds. That's what's crazy. If there's some good odds on over a round and a half, maybe take it. But otherwise, it's hard to see this going very long. So I have Riberos by TKO, but it's a crazy light heavyweight fight. I don't know. Next fight up the card, Rinya Nakamura versus Carlos Vera. Vera's tough. Vera's a tough guy. Well-rounded, not super dangerous anywhere. I think he gets by on his movement, his kicks, and just his chin. He's got a really good chin. Nakamura, though, little stiff on the feet, but big power. We saw that against his UFC debut. I forget that guy's name, but he knocked him out because the guy just tried to turn it into a brawl. So Randy Nakamura, good power on the feet. He was getting hit, but he seemed to take him fine. I don't think Vera is going to knock him out. Even if he's like maybe getting outpointed on the feet, I really do think he can control the fight whenever he wants to. I think his wrestling is very good, and I don't see Carlos Vera being able to just consistently stuff takedowns and then outpoint him on the feet. I think Nakamura is going to take the initiative and run with it. I don't think it's going to be very close, but I think Vera's tough, so I'm going to go Nakamura by decision. All right, next fight, Justin Tafa versus Marcos Rogerio de Lima. I have no clue. This is heavyweight. One punch can change it. I'm leaning for de Lima just because he will use his grappling. But lately he's been going in there trying to throw a lot of 1-2s, a lot of clinching. And if Tafa maybe just waits on the outside and catches him coming in with a big counter, then de Lima might go down. But I still think de Lima is very tough, big. He used to be a light heavyweight though, so keep that in mind. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a sloppy heavyweight fight, but I'm gonna pick de Lima by late TKO. It's tough to pick just a striker, but this is heavyweight. This is where being just a striker can work. So yeah, I'm gonna go de Lima by late TKO. But if you're gonna bet that fight, yeah, just try to find good odds on a finish for someone. I don't know. Next fight up the card, we got Amanda Lemos versus Mackenzie Big Mac Dern. She's so thick. Dern can have a good jab. I have that written here, and the key word is can, because she kind of, as the fight goes on, she seems to maybe not panic, but she doesn't feel as comfortable throwing her jab, you know? And Amanda Lemos has big power, and, you know, she is pretty fundamentally sound, really good athlete. This is a close fight, though, because, you know, watching Weili Zhang just pass Lemos' guard and just kind of control her from the top without any sort of problem, makes me think that even though Mackenzie Dern isn't a good wrestler, if she gets on top of Lemos, she might be able to just finish her instantly. I think this is going to be a really close fight. I think most people saw Dern get folded like a pancake against Jessica Andrade and are just like, oh, she can't strike. That's Jessica Andrade. Her and Lemos are just different types of power punchers. Lemos is more of a sniper trying to catch you, and Andrade is like a barrage of just little mini missiles coming at you. But I'm going to go Lemos by split decision. I just have a feeling this is going to be a weird fight where you don't really know. It just depends on how you score things. But I have to go Amanda Lemos. It's just tough to pick Dern after watching her just really struggle in the striking. But she did land some good shots on Jessica Andrade, but Jessica Andrade is a tank. So I'm going to go Lemos by split decision, but it's a lot closer than it looks like. But, okay, next fight up the card. Fluffy Hernandez versus Giant Chase Hooper, a.k.a. Roman Kopylov. My notes here say striker versus grappler. I think that's pretty obvious to anyone who's watched these guys fight. Hernandez has a crazy pace. The dude, that's his weapon. That's his gift. He can just push a pace, specifically when it comes to grappling. I don't know how he does when he starts taking big shots on the feet. I don't know if that kind of zaps his gas tank. But I think we're going to find out. If Hernandez can consistently take away the space, it's going to be really tough for Kopylov. Because Kopylov he will reset and keep resetting and looking for big counters and big moments. And maybe if Hernandez stays in his face, Kopylov will be so busy defending and thinking about what's coming next that Hernandez can just take over the fight as it goes on. But Kopylov doesn't give up. That's one thing I've noticed for him. Even in the Duraev fight, he was getting kind of smashed. That third round, he comes out and stings Duraev bad and almost finishes the fight. So he's dangerous at all points. I worry about the physicality because he's a very big, strong guy, and Hernandez is slightly smaller, more fluffy, but Hernandez has fought big guys like that his whole career. So, but I also think about the body kicks. Kopylov loves his left leg to the body. I don't know if he's going to use it because of the takedown threat, but I have a feeling that it's just he's going to be too physically strong for him. And I think of the Kevin Holland fight when Kevin Holland just seemed to have a physicality edge. It ended very fast, but yeah, he just kind of bullied Hernandez. So I'm going to go Roman Kopylov by TKO. I think it might be dicey at first, and if I'm wrong on this one, it's going to look real bad because Hernandez is going to smash him. I'll put it that way. But I think Giant Chase Hooper either gets finished or he finishes people. So, well, even though he went to decision with Duraev, so that's kind of silly. But I'm going to go Kopylov by TKO. All my Kopylov stands out there, rejoice or actually be mad because I get these wrong more than I get them right. So, yeah, I'm going to go Roman Kopylov by TKO. Okay, next fight up the card, Merab Dvalishvili versus Henry Cejudo. So Merab has a great pace. I think we all know that. The dude is like a little Energizer bunny. He's just like a little he's like one of those little dwarves from Lord of the Rings. Like, you just dig through the fucking tunnels all day, getting metal ore, takes him back to his little smelting pot, makes armor. You know, he's just got like that crazy sort of cardio conditioning. It doesn't really make sense. But with Merab, he needs his wrestling to work. If his wrestling doesn't work, I feel like his whole game falls apart. Not falls apart, that's a little harsh, but it doesn't work like it does when people are really stressing on his takedowns. I think I don't think people realize how good of a wrestler Cejudo is. To come back after that long of a layoff and go against Aljamain Sterling, who probably gets the better of Merab in sparring, and pretty much neutralizing his grappling offense. Like, I know he lost, it was a close fight, but that's very impressive to me. So I think Cejudo should be able to win the wrestling exchanges. And I think he'll have a speed advantage because he's obviously a former flyweight. But Merab could drown him. Merab could just, regardless of how bad it's going for him, he could just keep coming. And maybe if Cejudo isn't who he used to be, he starts getting a little frustrated and he maybe breaks. Because I feel like Jan looked broken in that fight, and that hurts to say. But I don't think anybody can outgrind Henry Cejudo. I still have some faith in him. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I do. I think Cejudo is going to win a decision. I think I'm going Henry Cejudo by decision. I think it's going to be a weird fight. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets some top control on Merab. But obviously, if I'm wrong on this one, it's going to look real bad, and Merab's going to just swamp him and beat his ass. But I'm going to go Cejudo by decision. I kind of hope Merab wins just because of that whole firing his coach thing was so weird. I don't understand the man. But yeah, I'm going to go Cejudo by decision. Moving up the card, we got Geoff Neal versus Ian Gary. So last time I picked Vicente Luque to beat Ian Gary, and I think Geoff Neal is even more dangerous. So I'm going to go Geoff Neal by TKO. I think Gary is smart and has really good distance, though. So he could make this very bad for Geoff Neal. Geoff Neal struggled against Stephen Thompson because he's a headhunter. That's probably his craziest thing to say, but that's his biggest flaw. He just swings to the head. Very rarely goes to the legs. Very rarely kicks the body, kicks the legs, doesn't initiate clinches. He's just I'm trying to knock you out with my big fucking giant left hands. And yeah, God bless him. I would do it too if I was like that. But Ian Gary has really good kicks and movement. He can keep moving. The thing is I feel like that's not what his best at. He does have a great counter right hand. You saw that against Jordan Williams. I don't think he's going to knock Geoff Neal out. I could be surprised. He could head kick him like he did D-Rod. But I think Geoff Neal's going to just be looking for big moments. So even if he's getting a little bit outpointed, I think he can steal rounds by maybe just landing I got hair in my mouth. By landing a big shot and just turning the tide of the fight. Ian Gary does have a really good jab. I don't know how it's going to look against a southpaw who doesn't really play the hand fighting game. Geoff Neal just kind of likes to burst in with the left, right hook, left. He will throw a big left head kick. So I just think Geoff Neal's too dangerous. I don't think Ian Gary has shown me that he can beat a guy like Geoff Neal. He does do good against southpaws, though. He beat D-Rod, but D-Rod is a more patient boxer style, whereas Geoff Neal's like I'm going to rip your head off kind of style. So I'm going to go Geoff Neal by TKO. But, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Gary actually makes him look real bad. Co-main event, we have Robert Hobbit Whittaker versus Paulo the Eraser Costa. So I have it written here. Costa has great pressure and a great chin. He will walk people down, and he will take punches and take shots, get hurt and get back up and just get right back on the march. He doesn't. The last time we seen him fight out at space was against Israel Adesanya. That did not work well for him. And Costa can counter. He's got a pretty decent counter left hook when he has your timing, but he's not like out there methodically getting the timing down. He just kind of, he's a very instinctual fighter, I'd say. He's a natural fighter, I feel like. Whittaker can keep him guessing. Whittaker can feint, low kick, high kick, side kick, jab. I think that stuff will work on Costa. I just think Whittaker has to avoid long exchanges and exiting out of the pocket with his chin up and hands down, because even against Romero, who wasn't the fastest and wasn't really doing that much in those fights, when Whittaker would hit him, right, and he would land these shots, and then he would try to exit, and that's when Romero kept catching him. And I think Costa could do that, but I'm not going to put money on it or bet it. So I'm going to go Robert Whittaker by decision. I think it's going to be hairy, though. I don't think it's going to be as clean cut as we'd all like to think Whittaker can do. Costa's dangerous, and he's tough. He's only been TKO'd once, and that was by Israel Adesanya. So it would be cool to see Whitaker get back to finishing people and finish Costa. But Costa just hasn't looked great. Didn't look great against Rockhold, but his chin still held up. So I'm going to go Robert Whitaker by decision, but it's a tough one. All right, main event. Alexander Volkanovski versus Ilia Topuria. So I have it written here. Volk can use his kicks and jab to keep distance. Most of Topuria's finishes happen against the cage. You got Herbert, Jackson, even Mitchell was technically finished right next to the cage. Volk doesn't usually just exchange, though. He doesn't like to stand in front of people. Left, right, left hook. Let's see who lands the left hook forward first, which is what Josh Emmett was doing. So Ilia was able to take those slight angles, 45 degree pivots, and just capitalize on Josh Emmett big time. I don't see Volk putting himself in those positions. Man, I have it written here, Topuria second round TKO. And I think I just have to ride with it. Even though I think Volk's going to win, just saying all that out loud. I just have a feeling Topuria has some things he hasn't shown yet. And he seems ice cold. I don't think he's going to get frustrated if he's not winning. I think he's smarter than people give him credit for. To stand in front of Josh Emmett and just stand in the pocket with him and out fucking firefight him is very impressive. But Volk's the man, dude. If you're picking Volkanovski, I think you're picking the smart pick. But I just have this weird feeling that Topuria is going to be able to time Volkanovski with something. And if not put him away, at least win some rounds like that. But I'm going Topuria second round TKO. But I think Volkanovski could make him look real bad. If he starts biting on Volkanovski's feints and kicks, and he starts reaching for that jab, he starts slipping, Volk is so smart that I think he can take advantage of all that. So, but that being said, I'm risking the biscuit. I'm going Topuria second round TKO. And that's going to do it for UFC. What is this? 298. Right? Yeah. It's going to do it for UFC 298, Volkanovski versus Topuria. What did you think? Do you like this content? Let me know if you guys have any suggestions, and tell me who you guys are picking in the comments. Whoever picks the most right will get put up on the screen in the next video. And remember, I will run 1 mile for every single fight I get wrong. Let's do a quick recap. So I have Random Maverick by decision, Val Woodburn by decision, Riberos by sloppy TKO, Nakamura by decision, De Lima by late TKO. I have Lemos by split decision, Roman Kopylov by TKO, Henry Cejudo by decision, Jeff Neal by TKO, Robert Whitaker by decision, and Topuria for second round KO. So all I'm picking are TKOs and decisions. That's not good. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Take care.